But this, I'm excited for this conversation. I posed this topic because I saw it pop up. And I said, I wonder how the guys feel about this. And you all sent me your list. And I have to tell you, I've never seen such great friends have such different taste. And it's really cool. So they're in no specific order. The lists are going to come up. We actually, for those of you listening, I had posed the question to the guys. I said, hey, rank your top 5 video games ever. Now, the problem was that's a very vague answer. There's multiplayer games, there's PC, there's platform, there's sports games, there's all sorts of things, but we just kept it very general. Your top 5 video games ever. And I am excited to go over this. And so we'll present them. We're going to talk about each other's list. And then what we would love to do is come up with a list as a group. We don't have to do that tonight. We'll do that over time because we're going to post these on social media to see where our listeners feel we completely are well off on these lists. So here we go. That was a good one. Here's Andrew's list is number 1. So Andrew, you talk.
Not tell?
No, we're gonna. No, we're not. That's not what I said.
Oh my god, that is fucking disgraceful.
No, it's not. I love it,
Jake,
Andrew.
shut up. That is disgraceful.
Eat shit. Go be depressing somewhere else.
That is disgraceful.
Andrew, I love it.
Andrew, I think it's a great list, but Matt, Andrew doesn't play video games as much as we do. So if you look at these 5 games, these are 5 staple video games.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, all right.
100% right.
These are staple.
I mean,
video games.
Exactly.
Fine.
I
would
would
first. All right.
Andrew, tell us kind of, and don't take too much time, but like kind of tell us why you put these games there and where you came up with the list.
Yeah, so this list kind of also puts a timeline as to all the reasons why I did terrible in school through all the But with number 5, Madden 2004, I loved football games, and this is the one I always think back to with the Michael Vick cover. Michael Vick was undefeated in that game, so that's the one I always think of. Number 4, Call of Duty Black Ops. I think it was Black Ops 2, not 3. I put, but that's just like during my college times, me and one of our friends who's not on the show, we would play until like 5 a.m. and that just brings back good memories. Number 3, GTA 5. I love Grand Theft Auto games. If anyone knows who I am, I love Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto 5 was mind-blowing to me. I would waste so much time in my life just playing games and getting my cars painted and all that whatnot. Number 2, Mario Kart. That is strong to my heart. So I've been playing that since like 1998 or whatever it came out. And Mario Kart is one of those games where like you played it when you were 8 years old and you played it when you were in college with beers. You could play in so many different ways. You could play it now. People want Mario Kart on apps if it's not on. I think it is on apps actually, but Mario Kart is something I'm going to play until I'm probably dead at 90 or 100 years old. But number 1, GTA Vice City. That one sticks out to me because my brother had it and I always played that game whenever he wasn't home. And I played that. So that game came out, 2004, 2005. I played that game. Like I play it on my iPad still. I play it all the way to this day. Vice City is just one of those pinnacle GTA games. 2002. Yeah. So
wow.
I've been playing it for 20 years.
Timeless.
Why does that feel like it came out yesterday to me?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Fucking
20-year anniversary for Vice City. And no one could tell me that Vice City was not a bad game.
It was amazing. It was
a great game.
Fucking like living like you're in Miami and that was a good. That was a good
Scarface.
Vice City had one of the hardest missions out of any game ever.
Yeah, dude, was that the airplane one with the drop of the
helicopter?
The helicopter.
I just used to love taking the motorcycle and just like zipping up and down and trying not to get hit by cars. Like it was a good game.
So I think GTA 3 had this too, but one of my favorite things was stealing a car and changing the radio station. Like the fact that you could listen to like talk radio and music stations, like that was mind blowing to me.
Back in my day, they had radio.
You had to start your car with a hand crank.
I think what's cool about this too, about your list, is it clearly shows when you stopped playing video games.
Yeah.
It was 2012
when you
2011
and when you stopped.
Yeah,
Black Ops 3.
It's
I played 5
wild.
I played 5 video games. I owned 4.
Oh man,
that's a
awesome.
good list.
Who's
Definitely
next?
Right.
a good list.
I don't know
Yeah, I
who's
like your
next because I
number
didn't do
one.
them in order, guys. I just kind of put them
That's
on
fine.
here. But
Your number
Let's see.
one is
Oh,
good, and number
there you
two.
go.
Brian,
Brian.
Let's go.
I could have probably
Gears of
guessed this
War,
list.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
forgot
so
about that game.
I probably had the hardest time coming up with the top 5 games because like Andrew was saying, there's some games like as you can see, my 2, 3, and 4 are just timeless games. And 2 and 3 are games that we still constantly play when we're together during a guys' night at someone's house, drinking, like having a good time. And like so like I had a really hard time. But like number 5, Gears of War, I felt like came out as just a good time for us. Like we would always be online playing when you had the chainsaws, you would be able to collect like the cog tags and everything. Like it was just an all around good time. Super Mario N64. I'm the younger brother, so I played this a lot with Matt and Greg when I was growing up, and like just watching them play this game, it was just really fun to watch, like jumping through the pictures and doing all these other things. Like it was just a very nostalgic game for me, so that's why I kind of had to put it up there.
This is one of your top 5 games, and you weren't even the one playing it.
Yeah, but sometimes
okay,
sometimes
man.
watching it is like more fun.
No,
than
I get
playing
it. I get
I
it.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Again, Mario Kart, like as a kid, blast. Now you play Mario Kart, even better. Mario Party 2 and 64. So Andrew and I were talking about this. We were cracking up. Mario
Yes.
Party 2 is by far my favorite Mario Party ever created. So Andrew and I were talking, and Andrew actually forgot that there was more than one Mario Party. So that goes to show you when Andrew stopped playing.
That's
video
because he's still playing Madden 2004.
There's
Well,
nothing wrong with playing Madden
there's nothing
2004.
wrong
It's
with
the
that.
best one.
games. Andrew, do you have the picture?
I sent it to Anthony. I'm not sure if you have the photo still.
I don't think you.
Oh,
I don't know
I
if it
sent
came
it to
through.
you. That's all right. If you don't have it ready, but we used to when we would have our
Kill
guys
some
night.
time. Give me a sec.
The guys' night. Yeah, this
When
is
we
where it
would
came
always
from.
have our typical guys night, we would always end the game with dominoes and Mario Party.
Yep.
And just like 90s trivia, no one wanted to be my teammate because I sucked at Mario Party. There was one challenge. There was one challenge where you had to like trace the fish. It
Crazy
was
Cutters.
What was it?
Crazy
That's
Cutters.
not the chasing the fish.
Andrew wasn't
No,
good at
tracing.
that one.
Oh,
Tracing.
tracing. Yes, you're right.
yeah.
You're right.
I
Crazy
was
Cutters.
I couldn't trace that fish. I drew like goggles on it. I was so bad at it.
It was and like I will never forget that night because we were crying, rolling on the floor, laughing, looking at his picture, and it was like I don't even know. I think he got like 30-some%. We never made it to like the thing. Was we started laughing
was-
too hard?
It was
Yeah.
probably the worst tracing job I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
The hardest part of
Okay.
playing those mini games is that every single Nintendo 64 controller in existence has the worst joystick ever
Yeah.
at this point.
100%.
So worn down.
None have survived.
Give me a sec.
Who's
I'll-
Anthony, you're not
next?
showing the you're not showing.
well,
Brian's
I'm not
list.
showing it because I'm pulling up the picture of Andrew's fish.
Fish.
What's
So hold
supposed
on.
to be a
I'm now
fish?
looking at this. Hold on. I'm trying to show
I
you
want
this.
someone to guess who's
Just
Andrews.
Put it up.
Well, he only
This
sent me
is-
one.
Yes.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Did you have a stroke while you were playing?
You
this
traced
game?
his
What
head.
happened?
I had my usual aneurysm.
It was a
Better?
true guys' night to say the
Hold
least.
on.
looking at that
If you
picture.
if you just take a better look at this photo, the bottom left, you could tell that the fish came out of the ground. Andrew's fish still hasn't even came out of the ground, and he went.
just like
Was it? Wait, Brian. Was this at our?
You have
was
to-
this at
hold
mom
on.
and dad's basement?
Yeah, this is a guys' night.
Oh,
you have to
God.
look at this. He started center right, went immediately
To the
southwest, heading west across the fish's face, northeast, heading east, then bringing it down southeast, heading south, and doing like a squiggle in a circle around because that blue circle is his player, and that's where
Yes.
it finished.
Yep.
So, like,
Oh my
it
God.
is
did you
insane
start
that you
off there?
immediately just took a left.
I think I was a designated driver that night too.
That's
I'd hope not.
sad.
Looking at that
That's
picture,
sad.
I'd hope not with how our guys'
Yeah.
nights went in Brian and Matt's parents' basement.
I would usually tap out halfway through and go upstairs and be like, all right, bye guys.
So that's my number 2. So Anthony, if you go back to the list, and
Yep.
hands down my number 1 video game with like not even a shadow of a doubt, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
If that game came out now, I would feel so bad for family, friends, my coworkers, because I would shut the world down just to drop nukes in that game again.
Yep, and Jake would steal it from me once again.
You did not let him steal it. You gave it to him.
Download the
You gave
digital
it to me.
copy. He can't
I,
steal
I
it.
let you borrow it, and then you stole it and sold it.
For
I have
$5. You
I
never
skipped-
wanted it back.
I skipped so many classes in school to play that game.
I'm right there
I
with you,
did
Brian.
too, but for other
'Cause
Did
I-
you really like skip class to go play Call of Duty?
Jake and I got My Hero one day. I think the day it came out, we got My Hero.
That was
and
that
literally-
was Modern Warfare 3.
Was it 3? We
Yeah.
skipped all school one day, and we got my
for
My
college
Hero.
or high school.
College.
Yeah, college.
Was this when you weren't in the
Was it
same class
college?
as me, right?
It was
When I would,
college.
like take your
'Cause
test
it was
and then give it to all my friends.
it was
Brian?
college because
It
it was
was.
Modern Warfare 3.
Or
I think it was our
in,
freshman
like,
year.
Statistics.
Yes, but that's my top 5.
I
That's-
remember.
It's not a bad list, Brian.
I remember when Modern Warfare came out, and it came out before Call of Duty ever. I'm sorry, Black Ops ever came out of. And every time Brian would talk about Call of Duty, I thought he was saying that he had to take a shit. Like I had no idea what he was talking about.
Call of Duty.
That was that would be better than Fortnite today.
That's not a
but-
bad list. I like that.
Okay, give me 1 second here, guys. I gotta pause the.
Pay
I'm
attention.
excited to see who's next.
Hold on.
I was watching The Office the other day. Matt, you're gonna like this one. And
I'm gonna love
Jake's
it.
list is next.
they
What
were
did Jason
doing,
Aldean speak out about?
Wait, so go ahead, Brian.
That was on the
They were-
Eric Church thing.
Kevin's like talking about like when Jim and Michael Scott are co-managers and they're putting beads on the pictures, and Kevin's like, "What does a bead mean?" Then like no one's answering him. He's like, "What's a bead mean?"
Dude, I was watching the episode the other day when Holly was like coming over to
Oh, you
Angela
told her.
and she goes,
Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, no, you do not
Yeah.
do that.
yeah,
And then he's like, wait, you think I'm retarded?
yeah. All right.
All right,
Anyway, I'm
Jake,
sorry.
you are up, brother. Sorry about that. Had to change the screen there for a sec. But go ahead.
All good.
That's a
So
good list.
Ah,
so
That's a
number
good list.
5,
I don't know about
you
number
know, you
4.
can tell how much Andrew and I were in sync. Madden 04, in my
Yep.
opinion, the greatest sports game of all time.
Yeah.
Anthony and a couple of other of our friends who are on the podcast, we would sit in each other's basements.
Jake hit me in the face with a controller because I was beating him in Madden.
Exactly why this has to be
Smashed
top
it
5.
in my face. He controller whipped me.
That's because
So-
of how important this game was.
So
It's
to Anthony's point, I'm sorry, Jake. To Anthony's point, Madden 2004 was the first sports game in history where you would restart the game before you lost.
yep.
This is where it all started.
Andrew,
No.
I was going to say that too in my point. It
Sorry.
was the most competitive like sports game I've ever played. I've never played a video game where people got more angry, more emotional than playing Madden 04 in each other's basement, whether it was my basement, Anthony's room, or some of our other friends who were on the podcast. We would spend hours, like 10, 12 hours, just playing Madden in each other's basements all the time. And then you look at the players, you had Michael Vick in his prime, Tom Brady beginning his prime, Peyton, the Ravens defense, the Patriots, the Panthers, all of them. Hell, the Giants and the Jets were good playing in this Madden game. That's how you know it was good at the time. So,
Yeah.
in my opinion, number 5 on my greatest games list, one of the greatest sports games of all time. Number 4, I had to put it on here. Only a select of us still play it at this point, but when it came out, I don't think anyone who really still plays these games can deny how addictive it was. Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's
Was.
one of the most addicting games, one of the more different games in how it's played. I mean, it's not just a battle royale and you have to kill to survive, the last person to win or last team to survive wins. You know, you have to do a whole different things. You have to make, you have to build a fortress, Fortnite. You have to do a whole different mishmash of different things in order to win it. It's multi-skilled, multi-tiered game, addicting as hell. So I had to include on my top 5. Number 3, Mario Kart.
Yep.
I don't need to go into how
Agreed.
timeless Mario Kart is. It is a timeless game. We played it when it first came out in the mid to late 90s. We still play it today. We still sit around the N64 and play it. Timeless, classic. Number 2, Modern Warfare 2. As Brian said, I would skip
goat.
class. I would do anything. I would be
goat.
up till 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
doing whatever I could to drop a nuke
Yep.
nonstop. If it were to come out today and it'd be the same exact way it was played on, for me, Xbox 360. Feel bad for my fiance. Feel bad for everybody else. I'd be playing it nonstop and not talking to anybody else. Probably besides Brian, because he'd be on there playing it with me.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Number one, I figured it might throw off some people that I put at number one, but to me, it is number one, is the original Super Smash Bros. And N64. I had to put N64 on there to separate it from the rest.
Yeah.
That's not the
Smash
original.
Brothers.
Yeah.
It's not the original, but I know what you're saying. And Jake, I was struggling as I wanted to put this on my list too.
So I had to include on the list, and it's in it for me, not even just Timeless again. I know we keep throwing out Timeless a lot, but
Just a little bit.
just a little bit. Just me. Well, everyone else was saying it, but whatever. Keep throwing me under the bus with it. It's a game
Timeless.
where you can play when it first came out, and you still play it again today, nonstop. Keep playing it. Never get bored of it. For
timeless.
me, by myself, even when it first came out, I would just. For those who don't see this, we have a chat going, and they don't stop posting in it. And they're constantly making fun of me because they call me Echo because I repeat things. But
Hold on, I do have a question though, a sincere question. The original Super Smash Brothers wasn't N64?
I think it was like
It was. I think it was Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I think.
Really? I did not know that.
Really? I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it was Super Nintendo was the first one.
Huh.
but
Interesting.
the N64 one was the one that took it to the stratosphere.
That's the one I remember
That
was the
popular.
N64 one.
Hot take: Super Smash Brothers Melee, best Super Smash out there for the GameCube.
Was that GameCube? Yeah.
Yep, way
It was
better
good.
I
than
remember that.
because the controls were actually 10 times better.
I don't
too.
know who the next
Yeah.
list is. Jake, this is not a bad list at all. I think it's
No,
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, Smash.
I didn't
play
even-
when you first came out. Play it now, you'll still be just as much fun as you had it when it first came out. And then, I played it a lot as a child. Everyone did. You'd sit in front of your
N64. You're right,
TV
Jake. It
forever.
was N64.
Yeah, safe.
Versus
well, so one thing though I will say is I didn't even get a chance to say it. I'm surprised that Brian had 3 Mario games in his top 5, but I guess nostalgia, like you watching Greg and Matt have all the fun playing it. That's got to be it's important. But you're right. I mean, for those not listening, when you go to a guys' night with us, not Super Smash, but Mario Party, Mario Kart, or Mario Tennis, which I will never play against Matt again.
and Greg. Matt and Greg
Me,
need
Matt
me
and Greg are
the
unbeatable.
kings at Mario Tennis.
We need to
Fucking
have.
unbeatable.
The 6 of us need to discuss a top 5 Mario game list, no matter the
Bring that for
game.
the next
platform.
episode.
Oh, it's me.
So Matt's list is
Matt.
awesome because it's just like
Mine
it's
fucking
timeless.
Slaps.
It's timeless.
It's timeless.
What's
it's
not
fucking
timeless?
timeless. I don't even know where to begin because, like, looking at this list,
Begin at the
brings
bottom.
it brings tears to my eyes. Like,
That's because you're drunk.
fact. Halo.
Great.
I don't think there was one person that did not like that game. One of the other games that we'd be up till all hours of the night playing. It was just amazing. And now they have a TV show on Paramount Plus. It's just the game was groundbreaking for its time. It was just
Timeless.
incredible. And I even had the Halo Xbox or the Halo Edition Xbox.
The
back
Halo
in the day.
That's right. They did come out with a special
Yeah.
edition Halo
Yep.
Xbox.
It was
Yeah.
like an army green kind of color.
Green,
I had
yeah,
it. I
and
think I
gold.
still have it at my parents' house.
Halo
Super
3 was the
Mario.
best Halo.
Amazing. Super Mario
Paramount Plus.
64. I know this was on a couple of, I don't remember whose list it was, but this was just an amazing game, like Brian had mentioned, jumping through the different pictures, going into the different worlds. And then Switch tried to recreate this with whatever the game is called, Super Mario Odyssey, which is a fucking amazing game.
10 out of 10.
Amazing. So like I really respect the fact that they tried to recreate this in a different way, and it's amazing. But Super Mario 64, sorry, it's timeless. It's just such an amazing game, especially when we were at the age we were. Fuck you, Anthony. When we were
Sorry,
playing-
it's just so funny. I wish you had a counter on how many times it was said already.
because it's true though. Like
We're talking about games that we enjoy playing that we could play when it first came
Right.
out.
Can
The
someone look
next-
up synonyms for timeless?
God.
endless,
Without time.
infinite. Tony
Yeah,
Hawk's the Pro
aliens.
Skater. This game probably, I don't remember when it came out, but it was when Tony Hawk probably landed, what was it, like the 900 or
900,
something on
yeah.
the half pipe, and like all of our minds like exploded. This was when skateboarding was at its prime, and they made a video game out of it, just like Dave Mirra's BMX. I know, Brian, you remember that.
Oh my God. That was
Yeah.
a great game.
Like, just such fucking fun games to play, and then you would try to recreate the tricks in the driveway and just hurt yourself. It was just so much fun. GoldenEye,
1999.
James Bond, 007. I don't even know what to say about this game. Aside from
Slappers
that, it was
only.
just fucking amazing. Paintball, slappers only, giant heads, like one joystick to control everything instead of two. People probably don't even
golden
understand what
gun.
that means.
Yep.
It is amazing. Number one, I don't know what else I can say about this. Like, I feel like I should pass the torch over to Greg, because we would play. We would
Greg's
play-
list is last. I
watch.
do know Greg's list is last. So
We would
he'll-
play
he'll-
this game for hours, and like, out of the 5 or 6 of us on this podcast, he was the only one that was able to successfully beat this without looking at the cheat code book. And I say book because the internet didn't fucking exist back then.
That's
We
right.
had to buy these stupid books and read, like, okay, how do we get past the water temple? And like, we would have to flip through the pages. And Greg was the only one to know how to do that. And me and Brian would watch him play till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning in our parents' basement as
Hold
we
on
were
a second.
sneaking in a 12-pack of Corona through the fucking basement windows, getting drunk. and we were like,
Time out. We knew how to flip through the pages of the book. We didn't know how to play the game. Let's be very clear.
Let's
on
be
that,
clear.
that
though.
Legend of
Let's be
Zelda, the
clear.
Ocarina of
I am
Time.
illiterate. I am not illiterate.
Oh my god, I'm so happy just looking at this list right now. It's bringing back.
he's
so many
actually
memories.
crying.
I mean, I'll say
amazing.
Greg is the only person I know who beat that game. I don't know anybody else who
Yeah.
beat it.
It's a fucking incredible.
Greg, you remember Skyrim? Remember
Yes.
you bought that book?
Oh my
It was
God,
like
yeah.
it was like a Bible. It was like next game. Next game.
Andrew, go ahead.
Matt, I love your point about number 3, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. The soundtrack is probably the best soundtrack outside of probably the best soundtrack in any video game. It beats
Yep.
all the Madden soundtracks. Also, how many video games can you say were also on Game Boy Advance? I have Tony Hawk Pro
Ooh.
Skater on Game Boy Advance also.
Mm.
That's
Like,
awesome.
I feel like
Yes.
all of these games on my list were groundbreaking for the time.
Yeah.
You know, talk game soundtracks would also be a good one, but Need for Speed Hot Pursuit had a banging soundtrack too.
Need for Speed Underground 2. Best
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Ooh, that was a good
Honestly,
one too.
Best
Go-
soundtrack.
Need
Going
for
back
Speed
to it,
Carbon.
Madden 04 had an incredible soundtrack.
Oh my god!
Well, all
enough,
right.
And I
enough.
hit you Madden 04.
Now I like
Yes.
I like narrative games. I do, so that's why my list is a little different. But number 5 is Madden 2004.
Yeah.
Wait,
Honestly,
I didn't hear enough about this. Tell me why you like
no,
it. 'cause
I'm
I
not
didn't hear
saying
enough.
shit. I'm saying 2 things. One, I think it's because Jake, Nick, Andrew, there's tons of guys. We used to play in Jake's basement all day long, Madden. We used to play tournaments against the computer. It was stupid. But the other thing is Michael Vick in that game is the most dominant game character ever created. He was
Undefeated.
unbeatable,
Amen.
except when he started beating puppies. Number 4, I think the best narrative game ever written, Red Dead Redemption 2. And I don't know how many people have played that game, but it was unbelievable. I cried at the end. It won the best narrative game of all time. It won Game of the Year. It is like a movie. I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood
game.
is
Good
probably
game.
one of the best games I've ever played. It was so fun. It was different it was a huge leap in gaming too when it came out. I think it came out for the PS4. And it was the end of or the middle of a trilogy of games, and it had all new tech in it, all new fighting mechanics. It was really good. I actually almost put Batman Arkham Asylum on there for that reason. COD Modern Warfare 2. I wasn't a big fan of them. I didn't play the multiplayer as much, but as a storyline, those 3 games, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, were unbelievable. Like, you could produce them as a trilogy of movies right now, and it would be insane. So it was awesome. But my number 1, I think it's the best game series of all time, is God of War. The newest one that just came out in 2018 was unreal. The graphic engine was unreal. The mechanics of the game was unreal. I am addicted to these games. And now that also, like Matt was saying about Halo, is getting a TV show as well. There's a bunch of people rumored to play Kratos. I think they need to pick Thor Bjornsson, but it's an awesome game. and the dynamic in the new one was awesome. So, but this is like the toughest thing to do because as I'm looking at my list, I hate it. I'm like, there's so many other games I want to put on here.
I struggled so much.
Yeah,
It was
Bri-
hard.
Tough, man. It's fucking
When
tough.
Brian sent me, dude, Andrew in the chat, say the game you just put in the chat,
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
and
Yes.
just
Yeah.
unbelievable, right? Oh,
Yeah.
you
Call
can
me a
never
sadist.
strategically put enough trash cans in your own park. It was
You're
insane.
right.
Call me
You
a
closed out a
sadist.
sidewalk. No one knew how to walk on grass.
No,
Having people die, you build up your park and then you kill everybody, and then
the
you
amount of puke.
Oregon-
that's made
Oregon Trail.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I always
All right. Before we go on tangents, I want to put Greg's list up
I'm
because
curious
he's
to see
probably
Greg's
the
list.
biggest
I would-
gamer
Yes,
out of all of
yes.
us.
Similar
He
to
is.
mine.
And I put his
I
last.
don't
for a
think
reason.
mine is going to be the people pleaser you'll think it is.
So
And
before
I'll
we get
go
into
into that.
before we get into as you're pulling up Greg's list, Anthony, I would really like whoever's listening to this right now to maybe we can post on Instagram, Anthony, like 5 or 6 different photos of all of the top games, and I want to get the listeners' feedback to what they think the top games are.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Greg.
All
Sorry.
right. So before I start, I want to go into saying how like you guys had games on your list I didn't even think of. And I'm like, I do love all of those games, but okay, you got one of
Okay.
them. You got one of them
hold
wrong.
on. Clap for Greg. Number 1. Him and I are the same.
Did I get one wrong?
Yes.
Yeah, Cod Modern Warfare 2019, I think it was.
Oh, it's 2019,
Did I
not
get 20?
2018. It's
All right,
2019. You're right.
So anyway,
Yep.
Pokemon Red and Blue that
I'll
came
fix
out. That came out when we were in elementary school, probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
First game
I
I
remember that.
And I'm the youngest in my family, so I was always dragged along to whatever things my brothers had going on.
back
So
Greg,
I would
can
always be
feel
in the
it.
back seat or sitting up in the stands with my like indigo, purple, bluish Game Boy Color playing Pokemon Blue. I brought that thing everywhere.
Oh my god.
I was constantly playing that game. When I finally beat it, I was so satisfied. I can't even explain.
Oh my god.
So I know you guys do like your COD Modern Warfare, your Black Ops. I do think the newest Modern Warfare iteration was the best of the series because it actually like it really fleshed out the characters. It fleshed out the story.
Yeah.
And obviously I think it definitely breathed like fresh air into the franchise. And with the addition of the Battle Royale, the Warzone, it took that franchise to the next level. And then unfortunately, they ruined it a year after the Warzone came out. And now I don't even if I could take like that Modern Warfare from when it came out till they released like the second year of Warzone and just have that frozen in time, I would take that like every day. Also, like in terms of coming up with this list, I thought of like what 5 games would I want on like a desert island.
See,
And
that's where
how
I
I came up with this.
Yeah, that's what I didn't think of. That's
a good point. Now, does Half-Life also is it the same as Counter-Strike? Because that would technically okay.
No. So it's this that's the same engine.
Right.
And
okay, that's why I was curious.
Half-Life 2 is like one of my favorite stories I could ever play through. Plus the game mechanics were so cool with like the gravity gun and you had a crossbow that shot bolts that stuck guys to the wall.
Yeah. Holy
it
shit,
was-
man.
Like those Valve games, like I have to really give it to Valve, even though they do some shitty things like not releasing Half-Life 3. They do make very cool games.
Fuck you,
very
Valve.
cool mechanics. Resident Evil 1 is that's a nostalgia game for me. Playing through that, like sitting in my basement, trying to beat that game. It provided like endless amounts of difficulty because that is probably one of the hardest games I've ever played. Definitely harder than Ocarina of Time, which is my number 1.
Mine too.
I play that game probably once a year to completion. I used to have
Love it.
He does.
Love
I
it.
used to
so
have
fucking sick. He really
I used to
does.
have So
You're a nut job.
so
remember
my
Keys to
video
play the
game.
song?
Listen, can I finish? My video game console iteration was so Nintendo 64, and then I had a GameCube before I got PS2. And for GameCube, I had a little travel screen that hooked onto the top of the console, and I figured out a way to rig it up to my Nintendo 64. So I had the Nintendo under my bed against the wall. I had the screen on my bed, and it was like probably like a 3.5, 4-inch screen. And I had the controller in my bed, and I would just sit there and I was playing this game all the time. Like I would be studying for finals in high school, and I would have the game. I would be sitting there playing instead of studying. I cannot tell you how many times, like I can't say enough good things about this game because it was so good. Like in 1996, it came out. Like I thought this shit looked real. Like I'm still blown away by the water temple, the first boss where you have to fight Mirror Link. That level is my number one favorite like video game boss ever.
Right. How many times did we try to beat this game in my parents' basement when we were younger?
I
can't even count. I can't even count. We would be like, yeah, you want to play Legends of Ocarina of Time? Yeah.
Boot it up. Fine.
Full weekend.
I'm pretty sure I have a save game file on your
You did.
Legend
You did.
of Zelda.
100%.
What we're witnessing right now is the if I could just push because with the way it is on my screen, I'm in between you and Greg, and this love sandwich that's happening right now over you two, realizing your friendship is complete through Legends of Zelda
Greg
Ocarina
was
of
like
Time.
our other brother, man. We would play this game every single
I don't think I
weekend,
ever
whether it
played
be
it.
after
You're
lacrosse
missing out.
practice
You're
or
missing
whatever it would be. We would play this game every
Greg,
single
I'm
weekend.
surprised. I'm surprised you didn't have Battlefield on your list.
I do like Battlefield, but my problem with
top
Battlefield
five,
games, I wouldn't put that in my top 5.
Greg,
Yeah.
I was honestly considering putting in like the
Lord of the
original
Rings?
Call of Duty or
about
Medal
Lord
of
of the
Honor
Rings?
Allied Assault.
Lord of the
What'd you
Rings,
say?
that first game was unbelievable.
remember we would play Lord of the
Two
Rings on
Towers? Hell
PS2?
yeah.
The Two
Oh,
Towers
yeah.
one, that was
Yeah.
What about,
great
hey,
fucking
you know what?
game.
There's a ton of games, obviously, we didn't put. Now we're thinking of some. I think I might, if I had to do my list again, Crash Bandicoot would be on there.
Yeah, Crash
Siphon
Bandicoot's
Filter.
great game.
Greg,
Yeah,
it's
Siphon
funny.
Filter, PlayStation.
Greg,
was
it's
the other
funny.
one?
You put Modern Warfare 2019 on there. I was very close to putting it in my top
Wait.
5.
Where'd Andrew
well,
go?
you didn't. So
I know. And it's funny. You said the
Wasn't
reason
timeless.
why I didn't. And the reason why I didn't was because of how badly they ruined Warzone.
Yeah.
That's
said,
why
I
I
could
didn't
that
take
put it on there.
campaign was, like Greg said, they
Yeah.
gave like new life to characters you loved already.
mhm.
And it was, I mean, and the way it ended was so cool, how it set up the whole series again. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
But it's just the way they ruined Warzone, it killed it for me. I couldn't include it on the list.
Yeah, I
Unbelievable.
like thinking about it. Like even Counter-Strike Source, CS Source. I used to play that game on the
Ooh.
computer for like
Ooh, yeah.
hours.
People still
Snipers.
play that game. People still
With
play that game
Sniper Dash.
competitively.
Yeah.
Like if we were to break down like top 5 video games by genres,
Yeah,
or
by system, by
or
system.
like by system, we would be able to like definitely flesh out way better lists. Because obviously, like if we went to sports games, I know
Madden
3 of you
04.
guys are voting for Madden 04, which frankly, sports games don't do it for me, but it is what it is.
Story
Uh,
games like what Anthony put in his list don't do it for me. Like Red Dead, I heard it in Assassin's Creed. I hear they're incredible games. It just
Assassin's
doesn't
Creed
do it
is
for
good,
me.
yeah.
There's it's cool because we'll post these each guy's list. I'll fix that one, Greg, to say 2019, but we'll post these on Instagram, and then I guess we can kind of take a look at the list and kind of formulate a top 5 of the group. But I think if you do categories are important because there's multiplayer games, there's role play games, there's
Oh, we should
there's
definitely do this
insane-
again and say okay, top 5 sports games, top 5 fighting games, top 5
Yeah.
racing games,
Yeah.
simulator,
Tekken Tag.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Story.
Tekken
Tag.
Multiplayer.
fucking Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
on the arcade machine in the pizza shop.
We could do just arcade machines.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
How about
What was the
Anthony?
ooh, Metal
What's that
Slug.
game? Time Crisis
Anthony,
Time
Time
Crisis.
Crisis or
the games
House
in
of the Dead.
Luigi's
at the bowling
Pizzeria,
alley.
Oh God.
those
Pinball.
arcade games in Luigi's. Oh,
How about a game that no one's even mentioned yet? Duck Hunter.
Oh my God, with the red and gray
Yeah.
Like, that
Nintendo
was-
gun.
That was like, I don't want to say that was before our time, but like our older cousins play that games. Like we weren't at the age
But
of
that's still a
playing-
phenomenal
Oh, of
game.
course. I'm not saying it isn't, but we
is
weren't.
it? Dare
at
I
that age.
say? Dare I
Timeless?
say? Is it timeless?
Timeless? No, it's not timeless.
Uh-huh.
I'm a little surprised that no one put Wii Sports.
Yeah, we bowling, we
Get 'em
baseball.
out.
Wii
Andrew,
Sports was just electric.
Andrew, I was
Yeah.
very close. And honestly, it goes back to when you and me would come back from class and we go to your house and we would just play Wii Sports for hours.
My right
Yeah.
shoulder's still
Yeah.
bad from bowling.
Oh, is that
Like-
why your white shoulder is so bad from bowling?
God.
No, but I did consider putting Wii Sports in there. That we had a lot
I
of
would
fun
love-
playing Wii Sports.
We gotta post this on
Yeah, I
on
think-
our Instagram. I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks
Hell
of
yeah.
top five.
I definitely think we need to kind of bottle this up to do like more than one topic because obviously our lives revolve around video games. So like, we definitely got to come back. to this
That's so
because
fucking
like you're
sad.
saying-
We don't have to. We don't have to keep it with just video games. We could do top 5 any category though.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
movies, TV shows,
Beer.
sports, everything. Beer.
Drinks.
Top 5 Eric Church concerts canceled.
Oh.